Holy Obi-Wan Kenobi. Todd and Julie Chrisley are coming home from prison. Folks, I'm sure by now you've heard the news, possibly even seen the video of President Trump calling the daughter of Todd and Julie Chrisley, Savannah, while she was walking into a Sam's Club, I believe it was, informing her that he was about to pardon both of her parents. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are confused about this, wondering how does something like this even happen in the first place? Why would he pardon these reality TV stars? Well, the first thing that I want to say in relation to that is, I think back to Trump's first term, he was pardoning all sorts of interesting people. The likes of Lil Wayne and Kodak Black, to name a few. And in fact, that list is actually quite long of people pardoned by Trump during his first term as president. So without question, I guess the old saying is true. It's all about who you know. Trump to pardon Todd and Julie Chrisley. Why were the reality show stars in prison? I'm quite certain, if I can remember correctly, it had something to do with some sort of bank fraud or tax evasion, something along those lines. I know that Todd got absolutely smoked in federal court. Julie Chrisley just recently had her conviction overturned, but then they reinstated it, I believe. But let's go ahead and share this story so we can learn more in relation to what's going on here. And I'm going to give you guys my take on how this whole thing came to be. How do you get the president to pardon you? Folks, we've still got, what's his name locked up, right? Tiger King. He's locked up. There's an actual tour van or tour bus traveling around with Tiger King plastered all over the side of that, trying to get the president to take notice to his case and get him up out of prison as well. And with the fact that Todd and Julie Chrisley just got pardoned and are getting ready to be coming home any day now, is it possible that Tiger King is feeling a lot more hopeful in his particular case? President Donald Trump said he plans to pardon Todd and Julie Chrisley of Chrisley Knows Best, currently in prison for tax evasion and fraud. Damn, I hit that right on the head. It's a great thing because your parents are going to be free and clean, and I hope we can do it by tomorrow. Trump on May 27th told the couple's daughter, reality TV star Savannah Chrisley. She's actually got a top-ranked podcast with his pardon czar, Alice Marie Johnson, next to him. I saw a post on Facebook where people were like, and who is this woman standing beside him so happy? For those of you who don't know who Alice Marie Johnson is, she's actually somebody who was pardoned by Trump during his first term. Trump names Alice Marie Johnson as pardon czar during Black History Month event. Alice Marie Johnson named pardon czar by President Trump on Thursday during a celebration for Black History Month at the White House. Trump announced Johnson's appointment. The role is similar to one she held at the end of Trump's first term, where she advised the president on cases where people deserved clemency. Johnson was convicted in 1996 and served more than 20 years in prison for a first-time nonviolent offense for cocaine distribution and money laundering before Trump commuted her sentence in 2018. And the reason that he found out about Alice Marie Johnson is because Kim Kardashian told him about her during a visit to the White House. Kim Kardashian advocated for Alice Marie Johnson, and from there, Trump would pardon her. The Chrisleys, who were depicted on their USA Network show as real estate tycoons in the South, were found guilty in June 2022 of conspiring to defraud community banks in Atlanta out of more than $36 million in fraudulent loans, defrauding the IRS and committing tax evasion. You know, when I think about what these folks did, I think that they just took out loans to pay loans and kept getting loans. And, you know, if you're getting loans, you don't really got to pay taxes on loaned money. I'm not trying to make any excuses for what these people did. I think that they got their boots smoked because of a scorned ex-business partner of Todd Chrisley, who ended up going to the feds trying to drop dime on this guy. I'm not really sure how the cat came out of the bag. That's one of the details that I vaguely remember from this case. But who did they really hurt in this situation? Besides their children and their families for getting locked up. But was this egregious? Julie Chrisley was additionally convicted of obstruction of justice and wire fraud. Damn, she got smoked too. Todd Chrisley was sentenced to 12 years in prison, while Julie Chrisley received a 7-year sentence. Their show ended when they began their respective sentences in January of 2023. I wonder what prison has been like for the Chrisleys. Can you imagine the ratings that show is about to get? Hate it or love it, one thing's for certain. The show is guaranteed to go on. There's going to be a production crew waiting outside of them prison gates. Oh, they there. They're already there. Savannah Chrisley, who has been advocating for her parents' release in interviews, on her podcast, and even on stage at the 2024 Republican National Convention, said she was freaking out in a video posted to Instagram. And folks, take a look at Savannah Chrisley right here wearing that Make America Great MAGA hat right there. You better bet. Hey, she is Team Trump for life. And ever since Trump got reelected as president, I mean, my wife's been telling me, yo, he's gonna get them out. And sure as shit, seems like she was right. Savannah said, I have shed so many tears. The president called me personally as I was walking into Sam's Club and notified me that he is signing pardon paperwork for both of my parents. I mean, just put yourself in her position if both of your parents were locked up and you get a phone call from the frickin' president of the United States telling you, hey, he's getting ready to get your parents out and he's going to erase their records. It's sounding like, quite certain you would be freaking out as well, too. She was wearing her gold Make America Great Again cap. So both of my parents are coming home tonight or tomorrow, and I still don't believe it's real. So let me share with you what Savannah did just recently that probably was the final push needed. She just recently did an interview on Fox News with, I believe, Trump's daughter, somebody close to President Trump. Man, hey, it's all about who you know. Hey, do me a favor. Make sure you tell your dad about my parents. Can you remind him of them again? She added, the fact that the president called me, I will be forever grateful for President Trump, his administration, and everyone along the way. Chrisley spoke at the Republican National Convention in July as a part of the Make America Safe Again evening. I'll never forget what the prosecutor said in the most heavily Democratic county in the state before an Obama-appointed judge. He called us the Trumps of the South. Chrisley said then to boos from the crowd. Now, hey, it's fun, she said. He meant it as an insult, but let me tell you, boy, do I wear it as a badge of honor. Chrisley had been vocal about the treatment of her parents in prison, claiming they are being treated very poorly in the facilities. In an episode of her podcast, Savannah and her brother Chase claimed the couple had no air conditioning in either of their facilities and also said the prison has black mold, asbestos, and in Julie's case, snakes slithering on the floor. You know, prison. It's certainly a far cry from a Holiday Inn. And imagine being used to a life of glitz and glamour and high-class living to go beyond the poverty level to the incarcerated one, where you're going to be living like some shit. Damn right they got all of those things she just said, black mold, asbestos, no air conditioning. It gets hot in the summertime in some of these prisons. But snakes slithering on the floor, that's a new one for me. I got to imagine if you see something like that, it would be traumatizing. Are Todd and Julie Chrisley getting ready to come home and start a prison YouTube channel? I'm sure they got some prison stories to tell. Gosh almighty. I would love the opportunity and welcome it to be able to interview them about their prison experience. But I ain't. Who are Todd and Julie Chrisley? That's actually interesting to me. From 2014 to 2023, Todd and Julie Chrisley gained fame with their USA Network reality show, Chrisley Knows Best, which followed their tight-knit, bolsterous family and their lavish lifestyle in Atlanta and Nashville. By the show's 8th season, it was drawing more than 2 million viewers, and it inspired spinoffs such as Growing Up Chrisley and According to Chrisley. Yeah, you know you've succeeded in reality when there's spinoff shows coming out about you. Despite their legal trouble, the show featuring the Chrisleys continued to air up until the couple was sentenced to prison. Prosecutors said the Chrisleys were driven by greed as they engaged in an extensive bank fraud scheme and then hid their wealth from tax authorities. After a 3-week trial, Todd Chrisley, 56 years old, and Julie Chrisley, 52, were found guilty on all counts of conspiracy to commit bank fraud and tax evasion after prosecutors said they used falsified financial documents to secure more than $30 million in loans from community banks. Again, what'd they really do? They just fudged the paperwork a little bit to get some more money. If they was paying on the loans, what does it matter? But maybe they weren't. Julie Chrisley was additionally convicted of obstruction of justice and wire fraud and ordered to pay $17.8 million in restitution. President Trump said they're going to come home clean. I'm thinking he possibly meant by that, get rid of that pesky restitution of almost $18 million. The couple was first sentenced to 12 and 7 years in prison, respectively, in November of 2022. In addition to their prison sentences, they each received an order of 16 months of probation. Yeah, that's getting wiped away as well. In 2024, the Chrisleys were further ordered to turn over $30,000 held in an Alabama trust fund. Man, they got everything from these people. Each Chrisley later had their prison time slightly reduced. In December of 2023, the Palm Beach Post reported Julie Chrisley would be released from the Federal Medical Center in Lexington, Kentucky on September 4th, 2028, according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons site. She was reassigned there from a federal prison camp in Marianna, Florida in January of 2023 for unknown reasons. Overall, her sentence was reduced by more than a year. In June of 2024, her conviction was upheld on appeal. That's right, she had appealed it, and I thought she was getting out then, but they rejected the appeal. But the 3-judge panel ruled her sentencing guidelines had been recalculated and remanded her case for sentencing. In September, the district court imposed the same term she was already serving. That is diabolical. How are you going to get an appeal? Not only are they going to uphold it, they ain't going to change that thing by nothing. According to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Todd Chrisley, who is serving time at FPC Pensacola, and that means Federal Prison Camp, will be released November 23rd, 2032. Can you imagine your release date going from 2032 to today or tomorrow? That's got to be pretty crazy right there. Folks, I just wanted to share this with you. Wonder what you guys think of all of this. Do you agree with the Chrisleys getting released? Are you happy to hear that they are? Could you not care less? And again, I just want to emphasize, hey, it is all about who you know. Because it was just recently that Savannah went on Fox News, which was hosted by somebody very close to President Trump. And I'm sure the daughter of the Chrisleys was able to put the bug in the ear of whoever it was who was interviewing her to remind President Trump about her parents and their devout support for the president. Folks, I hope you found some enjoyment in this. This is a little bit different from what I've been sharing with you guys as of late, but this is a huge story. And I just wanted to share this with you guys. If you enjoyed this and you've been enjoying the content here as of late and you're not subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so and turning on bell notifications as well so that you never miss an upload from us. It would be greatly appreciated and certainly would go a long way to helping to support this channel. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted and make the most of every day. Peace.